Hey YouTube, it's Justin the Junkie. How the fuck are you guys doing today?
That's cool.
We gon' keep it on the low.
That's cool.
We gon' do you right.
That's cool.
Need a soldier in your life. That's right.
You need a lover and a friend.
That's cool.
Got your back to the end.
That's true.
Well, shit. Today, we are at MADS 2018. That stands for Mid-American Trucking Show. I'm going to bring you guys along with me, kind of show you what I'm checking out down here today. We got things on the agenda. We got to stop by Cummins to see if we can get Cummins Insight Pro, what that cost us. We got to try to find a scan tool, like either a, there's this thing called Texas or Tex Links or something like that. It was a pretty cool looking thing. I got to find those. We got to go by Tiger Tools because you all know I love that. We're going to check out Gray Manufacturing to check out hydraulic lifts and some other equipment that they have and all that type of shit. So we got a lot of shit really to do today in a short amount of time. I only got, well, just today to be down here because tomorrow it's supposed to snow 6 inches in Cincinnati, which I don't believe that's going to fucking happen. What I'm doing now is just waiting in the parking lot. I'm looking at all these motherfuckers coming in here. Boy, let me tell you, there's some interesting characters that I saw so far. No issues on the way, a drive down. I thought I didn't really need to bring you guys along for that. Maybe on the ride home we'll run into some dumbasses, but that's usually what happens. But anyway, we're out here in the fucking parking lot. There's some trucks over there and some more shit, little fucking tour of the truck. Look at this shit. Look at all this shit I got all over the fuck goddamn place. I gotta clean this shit up. So I'll probably use a lot of voiceover stuff just so I don't have to talk. I can film and just kind of show you guys what we're doing. Maybe set something up if the people are okay to talk. I'll show you guys around. They got a lot of cool stuff. One thing I will tell you is, if you've ever come to one of these like trade shows events, make sure you bring some money. I got about $600 in my pocket because they always have like cool fucking trinkets, or they might have some tools on sale. I know that OTC will be here. There's always stuff to buy, like even if it's just some kind of little stupid knick-knack fucking thing, you still want to get it. But anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Have a good time. Let's go on this adventure and watch, see what happens with the junkie out here, in these streets. So I'll see you guys a little bit later. Alrighty, we're in the trucking show here. The first place I stopped by was Cummins. This is the X15 Performance Series. That's the engine that I'm buying in my trucks. They will be 565, and then a couple of them will be 605s, all with the 2050 torque. I like that higher torque, so I was just looking at it. The one thing I do like in the display model is they blacked out all the fasteners, but in the real truck, or the real engine, it's not blacked out. I think it looks a lot better like this. This is just me looking at the shit here. Really a lot of people in the way here, all over the place. Alrighty, moving on. This is some trucks they had over there. This is a really nice truck here. This is more of the junkie speed. This is a T880 S. So that stands for set forward axle. You could see that the set forward axle's there. This guy, had some real nice trucks here. I was looking at, the suspension system. He had a WC, which is Chalmers, on there. He must do off-road work because he had tires on there. For asphalt, that would not work. I was looking at the dump bed. This would be kind of like a modified bathtub style. I've never seen a dump truck bed that was fully painted on the inside, though. That must be something for the show, per se. Here was another Western Star, fully painted on the inside. This is, I don't know who this guy was. He was just standing all in the way. But this is a 4700 Western Star. This has the Hendrickson suspension underneath it there. A lot of this blue color down there this year, which was a nice color. This had smaller front tires on it, so I was assuming this must be a West Virginia truck. There's people that they have, a whole bunch of trailers and stuff down there. That one had a high lift gate on it, as you can see there. Here is some of these guys. I think this was a bodybuilder company, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was the R.S. Goodwin stuff. Maybe one day the Junkie will get one of his trucks in the truck show, maybe, if I build some really nice looking stuff. This yellow color, I wasn't into that yellow color. What I was interested in is that these Kenworth set forwards are pretty cool. This is me just wandering around like a complete idiot. I was trying to find the Peterbilt place. Oh, I found the Peterbilt place. So this is a Peterbilt truck. This is me setting all my shit down. I'm going to go ahead and climb up into this bad boy. This is kind of what my trucks are going to look like on the inside. All that type of stuff. I did buy one truck that had the Allison transmission in it. I just wanted to see, kind of how much room it took up. It won't have the navigation in it, but it would have, that smart radio and all that stuff. But these Peterbilt's 567s, I'm really impressed with them. Now, me getting back out of this, big bastard. I like that comfy seat. This is me, again, picking up all the bullshit. There was some good looking chicks there with their husbands. Sorry for the camera work, but this color is called Legendary Blue. And I'm glad that I did not order mine yet. I haven't, finalized the ordering process. That means I just haven't driven back up there yet, which I'm going to go back up there soon. But I think I'm going to get all mine in this Legendary Blue color. It is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, what I was saying is that Peterbilt color is a lovely blue. But anyway, moving along, this was the Antique Truck Guys. So they had a big space in here. This is all like older trucks and stuff like that. They had a bunch of working stuff there. This was an old Peterbilt here. Like this stuff is pretty interesting to me. I like this older stuff. Twin stick truck. This was a 1968 358A, which it was pretty cool, and these Peterbilts haven't changed that much, Oh, and it's a needle nose Peterbilt too. Those are so cool. I like needle nose Peterbilts. I always wanted to have me a needle nose Peterbilt, but make it modern on the inside, but have that old school look and make it a dump truck. I like this thing too. This Kenworth W900A model. This was a nice looking truck, especially for how old it was. I think this was a 1981. And that's what I'm kind of looking for, is maybe an 81 truck, to build in the future or something like that. If I had enough money, extra money, just to have a fun little truck to drive around. They had a lot of stuff. I liked this truck better than the stuff that's like outside. There's a guy with the greatest beard I've ever seen. Like, you guys thought my beard was fucked up. There's some great beards down here. Here's a cab over. Again, no thank you. Yeah, I'm not driving that. This is an old Mack. I don't really like Mack trucks, so I don't look at those. Here's another A model Kenworth. A lot of these W900A models, that's a short hood there. That other one was a long, or it would be an extended hood or whatever. This Marmon was pretty cool. This was a company out of Texas. This guy built his own trucks. It was called Marmon. It basically looked like a W900 is what it is. Yeah, there's that Mack. I don't really like that. But this Marmon is fucking cool. You don't see very many of these around. I haven't seen that many of them. I've seen none in Cincinnati. But this guy must pull a tanker because he's got a lift gate there. It's a wet kit on it, so that's what I was assuming, because he had a PTO and stuff. But you can see these trucks are worked, and you can tell that it rained on the day down because some of them aren't really clean. Like this one is just straight show truck. I really don't like that at all. You know, all these straight show trucks, but they had a bunch of them. This thing was pretty cool. You know, I don't know what that thing was. I don't think this guy pulled this trailer with it. He may. I really don't know. That's the Alcoa wheel place. I didn't go by there. I was just trying to show you guys stuff that would be interesting. You know, what I hate about this type of stuff is there's these large crowds and nobody fucking pays attention to what they're doing. They all just walk around like, you know, with their head on a swivel, but they don't get out of anybody's way. It's kind of annoying, if you will. Here's another Kenworth. A lot of Kenworths and Pete's is what the people seem to be into here. You know, they got their chairs out. Now, this truck, I know the owner of this truck. He actually lives, or I actually haul asphalt with him. His name is Jason Hancock. That's who owns this truck. It's for sale. It's a 77 359. He actually hauls steel coils with this fucking thing. Or it's a 359, I'm sorry. Jason Hancock's Trucking. 25 grand or best offer. It was pretty cool, you know, but that's Jason's truck. I should have called him and fucked with him a little bit. You know, as I was saying, I know the guy that owns that truck. He has a whole bunch of dump trucks in our area. I work with him from time to time. He drives at night too. He's actually pretty cool. Me and him get along. What do we got over here? This is another Kenworth. There's some yoga pants for you fellas. I'm telling you, the scenery here is really good. You know, there was some good looking chicks there, especially in yoga pants. This is an old Dodge. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, again, more Kenworths. That's usually what the older trucks are, is all Kenworths and Peterbilts and stuff like that. That was a freight shaker. I really ain't into freight shakers. Here's another Peterbilt, 1972. You know, what these things are cool is because they're kind of rusty and all that stuff. And that's an aluminum frame truck right there. No air ride, you know, just spring ride, just beat you to shit and back. You know, like you ain't driving in that cab over, I can tell you that. But anyway, that's about the trucking, you know, the whatever you call that, the, you know, working show and shine section or antique trucks section there. Alrighty, moving right along. This is Gray Manufacturing. I wanted to look at these wheel lifts. I'm going to be eventually buying a set of these things. I like this Gray Manufacturing over the other ones. There's another place that I looked at. You'll see later in the video. They had some really nice ones, but I like these Gray Manufacturing stuff. These are all digitally, wirelessly connected. You leave them charging, and then now you can get up underneath that truck. Let's say you had to grease it. You can do a lot of different stuff with that. They have these big jack stands, which I looked at. So we're going to be upping our safety game here. As you can see, they have all these different jacks. You know, you can put a clutch in there. It's just a lot easier to work on the truck up in the air than it is, you know, laying on the ground like a bunch of, you know, you got more room. You can get stuff cleaner. What I did like is this jack with this drive shaft thing in there. You know, I could also get that for another jack that I got, but you could easily put the drive shaft up in the truck. That was a big-ass Mack transmission right there. On their transmission jack, it was a high lift jack. That's just me looking at their stuff. You can see that they have a whole bunch of variations of stuff there. Look at that dude's pants. I don't know if you caught that. One of these big long jacks, you know, you can lift stuff up with. You can get out of the way. Look at those. I like these style jacks. This is transmission stuff. You know, you can put a clutch on there or whatever you got to do, and you can just stab it right in the so it saves your back, saves everything. You know, again, more transmissions. That's one set up for an Allison, I do believe. This is me just wandering around. That's an engine stand for a big diesel truck. The one that I liked was right here where they had that ISX engine on there. If I did a bunch of engine rebuilds, I would look into an engine stand like that. These are oil crushers right there, and then these are drain pans. So I like this little small drain pan stuff. It catches stuff on the top of it there. You can adjust the flow, all that type of stuff. And then here was this thing. They make a really nice 75-ton hydraulic press, which is on the list there. Beautiful. I like that big thing. This is for you forklift guys. They make that. They got those are a little bit cheaper dolly systems. You can get that thing and then stab whatever in there, clutches and all that type of stuff. I don't know what those big things are for. Right there is what I want. That's the Eaton Fuller plate right there. You bolt that on that transmission jack I got. Alrighty, moving right along. This is the Hendrickson lift axle booth. And what I was doing was just looking at if I want to go with the WC or the Hendrickson lift axles. That's the Hendrickson lift axle right there. And this is the WC. Now, I kind of made my decision on that I'm going to be putting 10,000-pound lift axles on there under my trucks just to save some weight. And the Hendrickson one is going to be a better one to go with. It's going to be a longer lasting one because they used grease in the hubs instead of oil. When you get those little lift axles and the little tires, they turn a lot faster. So they put grease in there and it makes it a little bit better. The one you saw was a brand new design that will not be available till 2018 or the fourth quarter of 2018. And this is me just wandering around. The other system there was the rear suspension. That's called Hendrickson Hallmax. That's what the rear suspension will be. But that's the Hendrickson booth right there. Alrighty, moving along. This is the OTC booth. So they have all like OTC heavy duty, truck stuff there. This is me just wandering around looking at all the stuff you can see. They got, just the big stuff for the bigger trucks, Class 8. It takes bigger stuff. So I was looking around, right here, they had these huge pry bars. I think I pan up. Yeah, right here. The major persuaders for the heavy-duty jobs. They did have some nice tire spoons. This is their transmission jack. I don't like that one as much as the one that I got. This is because I was looking at their diagnostic equipment here. I was trying to find information out about it, for heavy-duty truck scanners. Because you can get a computer, which I think I eventually have to have for programming stuff. And then you got to just have a normal scanner, so you can choose the Bosch one, an Autel, or a Snap-on type one, just to do quick codes and stuff like that. Again, look at that chick right there. Damn it, I'm telling you, there's hot chicks all around this place. But that's the OTC booth. And then this is that Bosch heavy-duty scanner. That's the one that they told me, would be the best one for what I got to do. They told me a price and all that stuff, so I can compare and end up buying the right one. But that's OTC booth. This is me just kind of wandering around, walking around the show. Again, you can see all these people everywhere. This was kind of like the, like the aftermarket truck, chicken lights, as everybody calls them, and whatever, and, show trucks and all that type of stuff, trailer manufacturers, all that kind of stuff. This Peterbilt is okay. I'm not into purple that much, and it's just a little too much for me. That's not my thing, to be honest with you. This white truck wasn't bad, again, they had a lot of cool stuff there. These people, take really good pride in their equipment, you'll see that a lot of them have all cat motors. I believe this is an ISX. Yeah, that's an ISX. Look at the inside of this thing. This thing was pretty nice. I like that big long shifter though, That would be pretty cool to drive. This thing had a cool visor up there and all that type of stuff. You know, yep, nope, sorry, it had a cat motor in it. Yep, you're going to see a lot of cat. You know, those guys love those cat motors. But again, you know, this is all like you can get seat adapters and all that type of shit. You know, if you want to get some 10-inch stacks, they got them there. You know, all that stuff. Yeah, this is the one with the 60 series Detroit. So I have a feeling there are a lot of Fitzgerald glider kits running around. They seem to be the number one there. You know, that's some kind of Thermal King trailers. You know, here's the blue Parrot. Shit, I got some stuff in that, me walking around there. I'll show you that in the next clip. So here's the headsets that I was looking at. You know, trying to find one more comfortable. I don't like this double ear one, but this one was a lot more comfortable than the one I got. It didn't seem to hurt my ear. You know, that's me looking super trucker-ish there. I was just checking these things out. What I might do is give these to my employees as some gifts. I got somebody's information. I'll contact them later. But those are the headsets. Alrighty, moving right along, we got over to the Tiger Tool stuff. You know, I love this manufacturer. I want to get the complete rest of those sockets. Love those. This is just like presses and stuff. This Tiger Tool stuff is I like their stuff. I talked to them about if they can manufacture some one-off stuff, like some different size sockets. They stop at 4-inch, and one of they could make some bigger ones. The guy said email them, and maybe they will. That's a big Kingpin press. You can see all that. You know, here's their other stuff. What I was looking at is the new, for the bigger drive shaft yokes, they have a special puller for that. So I, you know, was, you know, interested in getting one of those. And then over on the other side, you know, this is just all their stuff that they got. They have great stuff. You know, I eventually want to have kind of a lot of stuff that they make, but it'll just be over time. The guy was really cool. You know, like if you're into dump trucking, this thing that I'm going to show you right here, this strut compressing tool, number one thing you got to have. But anyway, this is the Tiger Tool booth and all that stuff. They got a whole bunch of jazz. Check those guys out and all that shit. All right, moving right along. These are the Stericone lifts. I looked at those, very similar to the Gray Manufacturing ones. I think they share a lot of technology. They do make a bigger set than Gray Manufacturing does, but I don't know if you need a bigger set, because then the axles of the truck won't be able to support the weight of the truck and all that stuff. Like they had a 14,000 pound lift one, but I was just looking at it to try to see. I mean, you can see you can completely walk under there. I'm not ducking or nothing like that. These lifts are, you know, a great tool to have in your shop, especially if you're doing bigger maintenance type stuff. But that's Stericone lifts right there. Alrighty, now we finally made it outside to probably what a lot of you guys want to see. That's the show and shine area. So this is me just walking around looking at all these trucks. Now what I will tell you about the show and shine area is that some of these trucks are, they're just show trucks. And to me, that is not that exciting. They're great to look at, but to me, I want to be able to drive the damn truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, work the goddamn thing. That's what it's made to do, not just drive it around or trailer it to be polishing it. This truck was pretty cool, you know, like, guy must be into Harley Davidsons, you know. They got a whole bunch of lights on these damn things. I don't know how in the hell they keep all the lights working, but I guess if it's just a show truck and it doesn't drive down the road, you don't really need to worry about that. This is the PDI booth. This is their new twin turbo setup for an ISX, where you still use the factory turbo, so you can still use, I think they were still using EGR stuff on that, but I'm not for sure. You know, don't quote me on that. I don't really know. This is me again wandering around outside. This is inside the PDI booth. I have some PDI stuff. I'm okay with the PDI stuff. I finally fixed their junk turbo that they sent me. I mean, I was going through turbos like every 500 miles, and they said it wasn't their problem. But once I fixed it, to try to make it better, we now have 90,000 miles on the same turbo. So these guys may not be as smart as they think they are, but some dumb hillbilly in Ohio fixed their shit. But anyway, that's another story for another day. A lot of Peterbilt show trucks, a lot of, this is a lot of Kenworths. There's some rare stuff out here. This is probably what a lot of people like to go. My driver, Nick, likes to go down Friday or Saturday night because all the truck show guys will get drunk and start revving it up and Jake brake contests and stuff like that. If you want anything polished, this guy right here, Evans Detail and Polish, is probably the best guy around, as far as polishing stuff. So you could give him a call. This is where a lot of the hotter chicks was out here in the goddamn section. But anyway, yeah, here's another Peterbilt, another Kenworth. That had an Australian hood on it, which that's the first time I've ever seen that. This is more you can buy polishing stuff and all that wazoo shit. Again, another all-white A-model Kenworth and all that stuff. I like watching all the people walk around, I think that was another 70s, 80 model Kenworth. But like I said, my driver told me that all these guys will get drunk and start revving up their trucks and shit like that on Saturday night. A lot of them have like sound systems in them, which I'm not really into sound systems, but some of these dudes are into it. Like this one sounded pretty good. He had a whole bunch of amps and a bunch of speakers, but you can't tell me this motherfucker's driving this thing down the road. No way. No way. I liked it because it had a Cummins in it. Like you can't tell me that truck is driven. No way. You bring that out in an asphalt plant, that sumbitch will have tack stuck all over that thing in 2 days. And you'll be having to try to peel it off. But these people do take great pride in their trucks. I'm not saying some of it's a little gaudy. One thing that I do know about truck guys is they don't pick color schemes that really match. They're kind of all over the place and wild. This is me just walking around, tried to give you like a full ambiance, like if you were there, if you get what I'm saying, so, really nothing to say here. That truck's pretty cool looking. This is like the working trucks. They have these stickers on them that say like limited mileage working truck. And I was like, man, this motherfucker ain't drove this thing a mile, like the beds were never, like either they completely fixed the beds before they came down or they've never had gravel or anything in it, Like if I was going to do this, I would, build a truck and it would come down with still asphalt on the chains. I wouldn't change nothing, just get a quick bath and run it. Now this Western Star, for whatever reason, I like the looks of Western Stars, especially these older ones. I think this was like a 1987, I do believe, Western Star. Again, I think this one was for sale. 87, 49.64. But you can definitely see how far these trucks have changed, in the 10 years. Not the Peterbilts, but the Western Stars and stuff have really changed a lot. They used to be kind of more stripped down. Now they're starting to get a lot, where you get a lot more features and stuff like that. But they don't make a lot of custom aftermarket parts for Western Stars as they do Peterbilts and Kenworths because that's what everybody has. So they're kind of hard to find. But, again, walking around with this stuff, really cool. I do like looking at it. It's not really my thing, but I'm not a chrome guy, Like I would go down there with one completely murdered out, you know what I'm saying? All black, everything, and do that. This is me walking around. I wanted to check out this thing. This is a live bottom dump for like asphalting or other stuff. This truck was out in New York. It was beautiful, but it probably had $40,000 worth of Michelin tires on it. And I thought, how much does this motherfucker weigh? Like, I do like this blue color truck. Yeah, this is a Peterbilt. But I just wanted to know how much this motherfucker weighs. I guarantee that thing weighs 50,000 pounds. So that means that dude can only carry like 10 ton of asphalt, maybe. I don't know what he carries, but I was just like, that's way too heavy. That would never work in Ohio, I can tell you that. Here's another Peterbilt. This one was cool because it had, that was an older one. This is like working stuff. So some of these were working. This was like an old, is this a Kenworth? Yeah, I think this is a KW. Yeah, old K Whopper. But this one was like kind of, they called it the rat rod section. So you could see that it's kind of all beat up and shit, which I thought that was really cool. I was like, yeah, that's what I like. Then you got this one. See, ugly color schemes on these things. These guys really need to learn how to color match stuff, really. That's the only thing that I could say. This is the rat rod section. You'll see that coming up. I think this is the beginning of it. Yeah, here's this rat rod. So this was pretty cool. It's just a truck that they put a whole bunch of different parts on and stuff like that. This is a 359 Pete. I do like the circle headlights, though. But you could see that it's just a, they called it leftover. So I guess whatever they had laying around, they just bolted on this thing. The frame wasn't painted. It was rusty as hell. He did have the Punisher logo on the back of it, which was pretty cool. Again here, that's not for me. This is not for me. This is strictly a show truck. This guy built this just to drive it around. I think this was an International, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it was. Anyway, that's that. They had some more shit here. Heavy haul truck. Another Western Star. I got those soft spots for Western Stars. Now, this is the dump truck that I liked. I'll tell you more about it here. But he has the 10,000 pound lift axles on it like I want. This is a West Virginia truck. The only thing that I don't like about West Virginia trucks is you'll see when we go around the other side, the bed is kind of fucked up. They have this huge gap in the bed for how long the truck was. But this is a W900L model. I think it was a kind of a new one. It said working limited mileage, which no way. But if I had to pick a best in show, I like this truck over any more of them. Again, everybody just stand in your way. They don't get the fuck out of your way. But you can see how they have that toolbox there? It's really gappy. And this is where I met one of my subscribers. His name is Adam. He stopped me and talked to me there, but it had lights underneath of it. I mean, this guy had lights all over this thing, but that's pretty much the show and shine area. Alrighty, we left the show and shine area, then we came into the ChiPoc display here. They had a whole bunch of this ChiPoc stuff around. I was just looking at some stuff. They had a bunch of new stuff that I haven't seen from ChiPoc. That's me picking it up. It's hard to do it one-handed here. But these are square instead of the rounded clip pliers. Never seen those before. They had a Yeti they were giving away. I did make the mistake of asking if any of this stuff was for sale. They said no, they're just there for display items. So this is me. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They have a whole bunch of this stuff at, the truck show, and you wouldn't think like, well, why would this stuff be at the truck show? But again, it's a trade show, so they're just trying to buy it. Uh, I was looking at for longer those bolt cutters. I wanted to try to get some of those long 10-inch ones. So that's what I was trying to buy. They have some centers. There we go. I just got done eating lunch. 1950 for a basically a roast beef sandwich with cheese, some cheese fries, and a large drink there. 1950, which turned out to be $20 because I just gave her $20 and said I don't need the 50 cents back. Anyway, there's the ChiPoc. You can see all the shit they got there. These people were all filling it out. This guy, was asking me why I was filming. He wanted to show me a demonstration of the 10-inch ones. Asked me if I've ever used ChiPoc stuff. I said, yeah, I do. So this is me. We're going to do this one-handed. We're going to cut a 16-penny nail. I was looking at these ChiPoc wire crippers. Those are on the list. I'm going to have to get those soon. But this is me, 16-penny nail, one-handed, wha-bam, with the 10-inch ChiPoc bolt cutters. But this is that. I gotta remember that part number. I want that. That's pretty much the ChiPoc booth there at the Mads Truck Show. Gonna get those. Alrighty, moving right along. This is a wheel gun socket. It's electric, 36 volts. It's not an impact gun. It is a torquer. So this is the guy explaining to me what the fuck this thing does. Now, here's a question for you. How much do you think this gun cost? Okay. I will answer it before I leave this booth. So basically, it's a digital torque wrench, and what it does is it records that you torqued the stuff, and you can send it in. So this is him. Like I told him, like I didn't understand which one it was turning. I kept looking at the wrong one, but it's actually inside that wheel nut socket. They put it around the other wheel, so it doesn't get it makes it less reactionary, and you don't rip it off your hand, or it twists your hand all up and injures you. So what it'll do is, this is where the battery died, so he had to go get another battery. I said you should be charging a whole bunch of these guys, and all that shit. It was absolutely ridiculous. But it would take the lug nut off and torque it to a specific number. You can change that. It's a gear reduction system. I ask, how does it kind of work? And you can kind of see that. I misunderstood. I thought it was turning this one, but no, that's just the reactionary thing. But it did work. This is him going to get the battery. But he said they make an adapter that you can put it so you can use your own sockets, which I said, okay, so you don't have to buy that. So then I said, well, how much is this tool? And the guy told me $6,500. I said, $6,500? I said, that's a little crazy there. $6,500 for a goddamn torque wrench. The thing better suck and blow me for $6,500. Moving on, we didn't buy that. That was kind of dumb. Now this thing was the GB500, and again, I'm going to ask you how much you think this cost. Okay, what this does is it would be a jump pack that would start a big truck. Okay, it's big enough to do that. The guy mumbled under his breath, $3,000, just like that, $3,000. I said, what? $3,000? Out of your goddamn mind. This was the Tecton booth. You guys can see they had Tecton Tools there. I just looked around a little bit to see what all they had. You get a one-time order of $20 off with this coupon that they gave me at the Mads Truck Show. So if I ever want to get some Tecton stuff, people have been asking me to review things. I may get some big 1-inch sockets from Tecton just to try it. We'll see. Here's all their pliers made by Wildy. At least the USA ones are. They had bolt cutters, pry bars. That's made by Wildy too, same as Craftsman. That's me and my Dr. Pepper, because they didn't have any Mountain Dew. at this goddamn truck show, which is another story. But anyway, all their stuff is, Tecton's really priced. I was looking at this bigger set down here. That's what I was thinking about buying, the 2-inch and up stuff. But this is the Tecton booth. And just wrapping up, that's, what I did at the truck show. Did handle a lot of business, answered a lot of questions that I had. The Peterbilt people are going to work with me to get a little bit lower price on the trucks that I order. So thank you for that salesman that I talked to at Peterbilt for 30 minutes. He was a cool dude. He knew exactly where I was buying the trucks from and all that stuff. So we got that worked out. Just finishing up here. This is the last building that I visited. I don't feel like I need to show you. There's a lot of shit there. It's just too time consuming to show everything. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little clip and all that stuff. And maybe we'll do this again next year. Alrighty. That's Mads 2018. I tried to walk around, show you guys a bunch of different stuff. I talked about it when we're walking through there. Hope you guys like the truck show part of it. Just my opinion, those truck show trucks, they're just not that exciting. I want working trucks, like maybe one year I'll bring mine down here with just asphalt hanging off of it. I mean, what the hell? Drive the damn thing. That's what they're for. But anyway, like always, check out the Patreon account. Check out Instagram, Facebook, all my social media bullshit. And like always, I gotta fucking go. Hopefully we don't run into any dumbasses. But alright guys, I gotta fucking go.